Now my wife and I, and of course you remember my wife, we've got these issues with the kids leaving and the dog and the cat and abandonment in general. It would be silly to run this hardwood without conferring with her which way we're going to go. We decided on east and west because we have a fireplace we're going to go along the front edge of, and we thought it would just be a better look for that oak to run linear across the front face of the fireplace. Here we go. We're going to slam home our first nail, hardwood nailer, about 2 inches away from the end of the board because we don't want to splinter off the tongue of the hardwood. It's in place, a couple of good whacks, and there's one nail home. I'm going to move down about 4 inches, slam another one home, and etc., etc. Do this about 5,000 times and this room will be finished. Voila. Remember, you want the tongue to the outside so that you're nailing through the tongue of the board, just like that goth girl down at the coffee shop. The mallet I'm using has one flat side made of iron for tapping the board into place and a rubber side used for striking the plunger of the nailer or for pesky salespeople that might come to the door. Once in a while there'll be a stubborn plank that doesn't want to seat onto the tongue. In that case, use a small piece of scrap wood to tap the board into place so you don't damage the tongue. Don't kneel directly behind the nailer when swinging the hammer, if you know what I mean. Plan on this project for a room this size taking a good 8 hours. It's not something you can rush through. It does take some time, but the end result is really worth it. This job works better with 2 people, one doing layout and one nailing, but it can be done alone. When you get to the end of a row, rather than use a tape measure, just hold your board over the opening, mark it, walk it over to your chop saw, and cut it to length. Well, my friends, we're getting really close here. We started this hardwood job on that end of the room and came this away. When you do that, you hope that your last plank is going to fit in perfectly. Unfortunately, that never happened. So I've ripped about a 1-inch piece and stuck it in here to take up the final space. Now we're going to do some caulking and get this job finished. The product that I'm using here is caulking that's designed to blend hardwood with ceramic tile. And it looks a little bit light, I know, but it will dry to a darker shade than you see right here. I'm going to apply this the same way you would any kind of caulking. Squirting it in here. Filling this 1/4-inch gap that I have. Tried to match the gap of the existing tile, the mosaic that you see that I laid down there. There are tools you can buy to wipe caulking away, but I find that the old finger method works the best. Just wipe it with your finger, forcing it down into the crack. We're going to use a cloth, a wet cloth to wipe away the excess. So you'll have to probably go rinse it out a couple of times so that when you're done it doesn't leave a film on the tile. If it does, that'll come up tomorrow. Nothing here will stay permanently. It can all be cleaned up after everything dries off. You know, one of the things about caulking and about laying tile and hardwood in general is that you're going to find that not all of your gaps are exactly the same and there's little imperfections here and there. You know what? You're the person that laid it down, and you'll probably be the only person that ever really notices. Folks come into your house, they don't walk away saying, oh my gosh, did you see that the caulking was 1/8 of an inch wider at the corner than it was by the door? No, you know, they don't really care. So just go for it. When you get all done, you look at it and wow, it looks great. And if people don't like it, hey, are they your friends? Maybe they could get their nose down and wipe it onto some of this tile. Maybe you could just wipe up the floor with their face. How's that? Wow, what a project. That hardwood floor turned out great, and I'm really happy with it. My wife is as well. But like I told her, sweetie, I'm not taking on any more projects till I'm darn good and ready.
What about a garage?
Oh, geez, I guess I'm ready. You know, speaking of a garage, the place where we're standing here to my left, once upon a time was a garage back in the day when this home was built, but with the 5 kids and all, it was a little more important for us to have bedrooms than it was places to park the car, so we made this former garage into a couple of bedrooms years ago. Meanwhile, we've been parking out in the weather, and my wife's right. We need a garage. Does that sound like too ambitious of a project for a do-it-yourselfer like you and like me? Ha, nonsense. I'm envisioning a 24 by 24 garage in the space right here next to the house. But you know, come to think of it, why not a 24 by 48? Then I'll have a place in the front to park my cars, the whole back end for shed, storage, and a shop. Wow, I'm getting excited just thinking about it. A brand new garage and a shop. Let's tune in next week and we'll get started on a 24 by 48 garage here on Firm Foundation. See you then.